Well, better late than never. So, yesterday I went out to test out the Bellows Gill. Now, before I get into it, I got some footage here from yesterday when I went out to test it, as you can tell, because my beard's gone, which is a tragedy, I know. But I went out to test it, and this is how it went.
Now, this is how you start the day. A very nice fish. Looking like she was just getting ready to start bedding up. So let's get a weight on her and figure out how much she weighs. A very nice 3-pound fish. That's a good way to start the day right there, ladies and gentlemen. All right, mama. Time to go home. So we're out here at Clark County Lake, and I just came out on the weekend after work to come out here and see if I can't rip some lips. And yeah, that was an excellent start to the day. I didn't even expect her to be on that little bush. I just cast out to it, kind of zoning out, relaxing, and there she was. So what I wanted to talk about is the bait that I'm using today. I know it's kind of gaining a lot of popularity, and I really wanted to give it a shot today, and I did. But what I caught him on was the green pumpkin. A little beat up, so let me fix it here. And just a standard Texas rig. This is the 3.8 Bellows Gill with a 3/8 ounce weight. Now I use lead mainly because I like lead more than I like the tungsten, because they're cheaper and they're not going to break your bank if you lose a whole bunch of them. But yeah. So I just made a few more casts, and I will say that out of all the baits that I Texas rig, the Bellows Gill seems to be a fish catcher. However, with everything, there's a caveat. It's also the one bait that snags up more than any other bait I have. I've tried straight shank hooks, I've tried extra wide gap, I've tried all kinds of things. And I can tell you this, without a shadow of a doubt, it's irritating. Honestly, at this point, it's not worth the price point for the bait if I keep snagging them up constantly. So I'm running low on Bellows Gills that are the size that I like. The rest of them are the 5.8s. But I'm going to keep trying to fish it and see if I can't get these things to stop snagging and figure out what I can do to make them more viable or around rock and trees. But we'll keep going and see what happens throughout the day. Oh, well, got another one. Same bait. Oh, little bitty guy. So far, this bait's been doing pretty good. Little bitty guy, so cute. But so far, it's been tearing it up out here. Lots of bites. I've tried 2 different variations and rehooking it in different ways. Try to make it weedless. And I think we're getting it figured out. And when I get back to the house, I'll happily show you what I figured out so you guys can get the full picture on how to use this bait and the full review. Just a bunch of little bitty guys. Now, regardless of the size, I always weigh my fish. Doesn't matter how big or small, just because I'm curious. And I did. Little 8.5 ouncer. Not bad. Pretty little guy, though. Let's go and throw him back. So, something I noticed with this bait, which is the Bellows Gill green pumpkin one, is it's hooking in the same spot every time on the mouth. all 4 of the fish I've caught so far have been the same way. Right on the edge of the mouth. On every solitary hook set. Which I thought was just absolutely awesome, by the way. Consistency, 10 out of 10. Okay, take it easy, little guy. Thank you. Little bitty guys are always fun to catch. 10.5 ounces. Here's Bucko! Laters! Wow. Durability is garbage. And we got a limit. That's number 5. Just a little bitty guy. They just keep getting smaller. This one might be my new smallest. Nope, not quite.
Well, after that, I decided to head home. Ended up not getting any more bites really after that, and it got really populated out there pretty quick. But I noticed that I wasn't doing too hot on the 5.8. However, the 3.8, I was slamming them left and right. So I stuck with it. I had only the green pumpkin, and it was working quite well. I would get a bite every couple of minutes. I missed a lot of hook sets trying to figure out how to weedless hook them, and I lost about 3 or 4 on snags before I actually got it figured out on a good way to hook set it. A good way to set the hook to a weedless presentation while at the same time giving it enough play to where I didn't have to swing for the fences to set the hook and get a good hook set. And the way to do that is when you hook it down here, you don't hook it like a normal Texas rig on a worm. You pop up through the bottom, if you can see that, and you just go flush with the bottom ribs and the main body. So basically, you're way down there and you just let your hook, don't skin hook your hook. Let these ribs here be what makes it weedless. Because it rips through them on the hook set and it crunches it up like so and allows the hook to fall in and get the fish. So that was a little bit of a learning curve for me because I'm used to just regular worms to where they just fold in half and you just barely skin hook it. Don't skin hook this if you want a good ability to set the hook and get a fish on while at the same time remaining relatively weedless. So that worked pretty good around the wood and rock and it really helped. Another improvement I figured out throughout the day is I stopped using the weight. I just let the weight of the lure pull it down because it's pretty salty and it's pretty dense piece of plastic. So just let the weight of the lure pull it down. And I was getting a lot more bites more frequently and it was way more weedless when I did that. Now on durability, they're pretty flimsy. They can only survive 1, 2, maybe if you're lucky 3 bites before they usually split apart at the hook. So this was the one that I kept for this part of the video, but I had 3 of them do the exact same thing like this, 3. So after that, they're kind of just pull them off, put them in a bag, maybe smelt them down later, but yeah, about 3 fish is about the limit on each of these. But overall, what would I rate the bait? It's an awesome bait. If you can get your hands on some of them, do it. It's one bait that a lot of people aren't throwing, and it works wonders. So the only reason I gave it a shot was because I seen another YouTuber, Chris Johnson. He was out there talking about how much he liked it, so I was like, well, I got like 9 of these. I got several packs of these back there. I guess I'll just sit down and say screw it and do 1 rod, 1 reel and go try it. And lo and behold, it worked out really well. But yeah, I plan on doing more videos like this on just certain baits in the future. But I will say I really like the Bellows Gill. It's definitely worth the price point. At the end of the day, it is worth the price point. So, yeah, pick yourself up some, go try them out. Thanks for watching, and I'll talk to y'all later.